What's going on, guys? Berta here, back with the Odin Foundation, and today we're going to be working with text. Most content on the web is text-based, so you will find yourself needing to work with HTML text elements quite a bit. In this lesson, we will learn about the text-based elements you are likely to use the most. This section contains a general overview of topics that you will learn in this lesson. How to create paragraphs, how to create headings, how to create bold text, how to create italicized text, the relationships between nested elements, how to create HTML elements. Paragraphs. What would you expect the following text to output on an HTML page? The lorem ipsum. It looks like two paragraphs of text, and so you might expect it to display in that way. However, that is not the case, as you can see in the output below. When the browser encounters new lines like this in your HTML, it will compress them down into one single space. The result of this compression is that all of the text is clumped together into one long line. If we want to create paragraphs in HTML, we need to use a paragraph element, which will add a new line after each of our paragraphs. A paragraph element is defined by wrapping text content with a p tag. Changing our example from before to use paragraph elements fixes the issue. Headings. Headings are different from other HTML text elements. They are displayed larger and bolder than other text to signify that they are headings. There are 6 different levels of headings starting from H1 to H6. The number within a heading tag represents that heading's level. The largest and most important heading is H1, while H6 is the tiniest heading at the lowest level. Headings are defined much like paragraphs. For example, to create an H1 heading, we wrap our heading text in a H1 tag. Using the correct level of heading is important, as levels provide a hierarchy to the content. An H1 heading should always be used for the heading of the overall page, and the lower level headings should be used as the headings for content in smaller sections of the page. Strong element. The strong element makes text bold. It also semantically marks text as important. This affects tools like screen readers that users with visual impairments will rely on to use your website. The tone of voice on some screen readers will change to communicate the importance of the text within a strong element. To define a strong element, we wrap text content in a strong tag. You can use strong on its own, but you will probably find yourself using the strong element much more in combination with other text elements like this. Sometimes you will want to make text bold without giving it an important meaning. You'll learn how to do that in the CSS lessons later in the curriculum. M element. The M element makes text italic. It also semantically places emphasis on the text, which again may affect things like screen readers. To define an emphasized element, we wrap the content in an EM tag. To use EM on its own. Again, like the strong element, you will find yourself mostly using the EM element with other text elements. Nesting and indentation. You may not have noticed that in all the examples in this lesson, we indent any elements that are within other elements. This is known as nesting elements. When we nest elements within other elements, we create a parent and child relationship between them. The nested elements are the children, and the element they are nested within is the parent. In the following example, the body element is the parent and the paragraph is the child. Just as in human relationships, HTML parent elements can have many children. Elements at the same level of nesting are considered to be siblings. For example, the 2 paragraphs in the following code are siblings since they are both children of the body tag and are at the same level of nesting as each other. We use indentation to make the level of nesting clear and readable for ourselves and other developers who will work with our HTML in the future. It is recommended to indent any child elements by 2 spaces. The parent, child, and sibling relationships between elements will become much more important later when we start styling our HTML with CSS and adding behavior with JavaScript. For now, however, it is just important to know the distinction between how elements are related and the terminology used to describe their relationships. HTML comments. HTML comments are not visible to the browser. They allow us to comment on our code so that other developers or our future selves can read them and get some context about something that might not be clear in the code. Writing an HTML comment is simple. We just enclose the comment with and tags. So it's less than, exclamation point, dash dash, and then dash dash, greater than. Alright, so our assignment is to watch 2 videos and to get some practice working with text in HTML, create a plain blog article page which uses different headings, uses paragraphs, and has some text in the paragraphs bolded and not italicized. You can use Lorem Ipsum to generate dummy text in place of real text as you build your sites. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do that offline, and I encourage you guys to do the same. And I will see you on the next one. And also, guys, make sure that you're subscribed so that you can continue to follow along with me. And I will see you guys on the next one. We're going to mark this one complete. Bye.